Every good or bad thing in the world has its reason. What do we do? Heaven knows, earth knows. Do not think you can rampantly do whatever you please. There is a very simple saying, but it speaks the truth of the world. Everything in life cannot escape cause and effect karma. There are things you cannot avoid, and there are things you do not need to hide. Humans will face retribution one day after competing and fighting with others. What others have lost will always be returned by heaven in one way or another. All of these things stem from the causes you have planted, so just go with the flow of life. Don't worry. You must believe that what others owe you, one day heaven will repay you. Don't be impatient. Ups and downs are truly the human experience. Having hope regardless of poverty is life. Therefore, when poor, do not be discouraged. When wealthy, do not show off. Success is the result of unceasing effort. Failure is the sign of insufficient effort. Everything is a cycle of cause and effect. Humans in life should not expect returns when doing good deeds. If you have a kind heart, heaven will naturally protect you. In the Buddhist teachings, there is a saying, good deeds bring good returns, evil deeds bring evil returns. Whether it is a kind action and a good thought, or an evil thought and an evil deed, the current of cause and effect will arrive sooner or later. Good deeds bring good returns, evil deeds bring evil returns. Meaning, if you do good, heaven grants blessings. If you do evil, you encounter disasters. That is a proverb with the nature of cause and effect from the ancients that few of us do not know. Why? Because that is the law of life. From the lady selling vegetables in the market to the man peddling the cyclo on the street, whether educated or uneducated. Occasionally looking at the ironic scenes of life, people still blurt out, evil doers meet evil returns, according to Buddhist teachings on debt. Speaking of cause and effect sounds abstract. Actually, to make it easy to understand, life often reveals the law of reflection. For example, if we punch a wall, the wall will bounce back a force of that amount to hurt our hand. Standing before a wall, if we sing melodiously, the wall will echo that song. But if we shout curses, profanities, or speak grumpily, the wall will also reflect those ugly, monstrous sounds. The story of the scholar being repaid. There is a story about a scholar during the Ming Dynasty who saved a woman who accidentally fell into the river while he was out. He hurriedly saved her, brought the woman back, and asked his wife to help the woman change out of her soaked clothes and shoes. Then she rested in the scholar couple's private home for one night. The next day, the woman hurriedly returned home because she feared her husband and mother-in-law would misunderstand. The scholar couple worried that the woman would not be able to explain herself upon returning. So they discussed, and the wife quietly followed the woman to prevent any mishaps. If she was reprimanded, this couple could also speak up for her. What will come will come. As soon as she got home, the woman heard her mother-in-law cursing right in her face, even forcing her son to divorce her just because she slept overnight at a stranger's house, without bothering to ask or listen to an explanation. Seeing this, the scholar's wife rushed out to help the woman explain, proving it again and again. Finally, the mother-in-law and the husband of that woman were reassured. Later, the woman often told this story and the debt of gratitude to the scholar couple to her son, telling him to repay their kindness if he had the chance in the future. In the blink of an eye, more than 20 years passed, and the scholar couple had also grown old and gradually forgot this story. But on one occasion, the scholar was falsely accused of stealing money and was sued by bad people to the local government. The scholar knew he was framed and had done nothing wrong, so he refused to admit fault, nor did he argue back, so he was bullied. At this time, the district magistrate, who was the son of the woman saved years ago, looked at the scholar and found him very familiar. He asked him privately and found out that the scholar was actually his mother's savior from many years ago. Thus, the unjust case of the stolen money was successfully resolved. The thief did not expect that the poor scholar knew the district magistrate. The student who saved a person that year could never imagine that the acts of kindness he did 20 years ago would be repaid 20 years later. Good deeds bring good returns. Evil deeds bring evil returns. It is not that there is no repayment. It is just that the time has not yet come. The good and evil of each person are unavoidable causes and effects. Sometimes the karmic obstacles for bad people may not appear immediately, but kindness and investment are never a loss of money. Do not be in a hurry to enjoy blessings. Just believe that those who live well will have worthy rewards. As long as you are willing to wait, the good rewards coming to you will never be absent. There is a saying that the gift for good actions does not lie in the praise of others, but lies in the peace of one's own mind. Doing good deeds makes the mind comfortable. Please always believe in cause and effect. The story of repaying debt from a past life. Once upon a time, there was a young merchant who wanted to do business from the countryside to the city. Along the way, he bought a lot of goods from the countryside and intended to bring them into the city to sell. Seeing the goods getting heavier and still being 100 kilometers away from the city, he thought to himself that it seemed he should buy a horse or a donkey to carry the goods to be less tired. He could not handle it alone. At this moment, coincidentally, a person leading a horse passed in front of him. He hurriedly approached the person leading the horse and said, "Your horse has nothing to do today. I have some money here. Can you rent me this horse for a day?" The other person willingly agreed, so he rented a horse for a day to carry goods for him. After walking for a few hours, seeing that they were only a few kilometers away from the city, the horse suddenly stopped and would not walk anymore. The person renting the horse took a whip and hit the horse, but no matter how much he hit, it remained as stiff as a nail driven into a wall. The merchant really had no other way. If he was late, the market and the city would close, and there would be no way to do business. He had to untie all the luggage and goods from the horse's body and prepared to carry them himself. When the goods were unloaded from the horse turned its head and ran away. At this time, the merchant carried the goods into the city by himself. It was nearly dark. Finally, he entered the city and rushed to the market to trade. That night, the merchant, having walked all day carrying heavy loads, dragging an exhausted body, just lay down and fell into a deep sleep. In his sleep, he dreamed of the horse he rented that morning talking to him. "In a past life, I stole a pair of shoes from you. In this life, I wanted to help you carry goods for 100 kilometers. So I walked 100 kilometers carrying goods for you. Sincerely apologize to you. Actually, I cannot carry goods to help you for a few more kilometers. The debt is paid in full here. In the past life, I stole a pair of shoes from you. In this life, I carried goods for you. No more, no less. That horse in the dream actually opened its mouth to speak human language. The merchant woke up and felt that he was having a very real dream. Finally, he understood why the horse suddenly stopped when it was only a few kilometers away from the city. The story of the corn farmer. There was a corn farmer who harvested bountiful crops every year. The type of corn he grew even helped him win the championship title for growing corn. He also often shared his experiences with his friends. Someone saw this and curiously asked, "Why can you be so generous?" He smiled and replied, "Being good to others is being good to myself. The wind carries pollen everywhere to create fruit. In the process of natural pollination, it will affect the quality of my seedlings. Therefore, I naturally want to share with those around me so that they also have such good corn varieties. Then when planting, I will get the plant with the best product. What I do for others is exactly what I am doing for myself. So if you hope for how others treat you, you should also treat them exactly like that, just like the farmer in the story above." Buddha taught not to despair when there is no way out. In the Agama Sutra, the Buddha offered 11 methods of practice for the mind to be pure and liberated. First, be a good spiritual friend to yourself. Be close to and intimate with good spiritual friends to learn good and right things. The ancients said that near ink one darkens, near a lamp one shines. Indeed, near evil people, our mind also becomes cruel. For example, if we are gentle but hang out with aggressive, rude friends, sometimes they speak and swear loudly, talking over everyone's head. If we keep enduring, we feel it's a loss, so we curse back to get even. Right at that moment, we have turned into a fierce person. Furthermore, being near people with evil natures and fierceness makes us suffer and leads us on to the path of depravity and sin. Except for those of superior roots and great wisdom, being near evil people will not pollute them. As for being near good and kind people, we learn good and right things, and thanks to their kind and gentle virtues, our minds become peaceful. Second, one must maintain the precepts, gather dignity, guard the senses. Even seeing a small fault, one must be constantly fearful. If you want your mind to be pure, the most important thing is to keep the precepts, because from precepts, concentration is born. Once there is concentration, the mind is pure. If one does not keep the precepts, the mind will be chaotic and never pure. Besides, we must also gather the 6 senses when contacting the 6 dusts external environments. Do not let it get attached. Even a small fault should not be violated. Third, if goodness has not arisen, make it arise. If goodness has arisen, make it grow. If evil has not arisen, do not let it arise. If evil has already arisen, then it must be eradicated. This means that small evils should not be done, and small acts of kindness should not be ignored. We should never look down on small evils, because many small evils become a big evil, and many small kindnesses become a big kindness. Fourth, one should not gather to discuss nonsense, useless, and unlawful things. Whenever speaking, one must speak according to the Dharma. Always praise and commend the virtue of wanting little and knowing enough contentment. Speak about precepts, concentration, wisdom, liberation, and insight. The reason humans suffer from afflictions is due to gossip, right and wrong speech. The majority of women often talk about gossip. This person is good. That person is bad. This person is pitiful. and that person is hateful. Talking about worldly matters is not enough. They also talk about temple matters. This master practices well, that monk practices poorly. But please let me tell you that people are practicing, so they are still governed by karma. So there are things they can do and things they haven't done yet. We shouldn't, because of that, give rise to a slanderous mind, form factions, oppose and sue each other, unintentionally causing outsiders to laugh. Therefore, the Buddha said, "The lion's parasitic worms eat the lion's flesh," meaning that for the lion, no animal can eat it, but the very bugs inside its body are what kill it. Similarly, the Buddha said, "My way cannot be destroyed by demons or heretics, but it is within the four assemblies, that is, the bhikkhus, bhikkhunis, laymen, and laywomen, who destroy my teachings themselves." The reason we are good is that the karma hasn't arrived yet. When it arrives, we might be worse than them. Therefore, the ancients said whoever often speaks of others' faults often suffers retribution. Therefore, the Buddha loves all sentient beings. Whether that person keeps precepts or breaks precepts is good or evil, because that path is one he traveled in the past. Those who are still entangled are sentient beings worthy of pity, not hatred. If we badmouth others, they lose nothing. It is we who lose our pure mind. Furthermore, reaching their ears gives rise to hatred, opposition, winning and losing, and slaughtering each other. What benefit is there if a practitioner is not skillful? They will still suffer as usual. As for men, when idle, they gather in gangs to drink and gamble. When wine enters, words exit, they bicker, get grumpy, and punch and kick each other. That is why the sages say idleness breeds unwholesomeness. If everyone listened to the Buddha's teachings, kept their speech karma pure, and advised each other to try to keep the precepts whenever they met, because precepts are a fence preventing evil things, and at the same time, a guardian armor making our body and mind peaceful. If we always brought up moral stories to talk about, how could there be affliction and suffering? In the Dhammapada, the Buddha once taught, "For people living in the world, the mouth and tongue are indeed a knife. Cursing and scolding each other is holding a knife to harm oneself, not discussing right and wrong. One is happy all their life. Fifth is contemplating the body as impure. Contemplate the 36 filth parts from head to toe, full of impurity. Sweat, tears, mucus, tartar, eye boogers, earwax, blood, pus, flesh, skin, tendons, bones, heart, liver, intestines, lungs, feces, urine, or contemplate the body bruising, bloating, cracking, stinking, with flies landing and ants crawling to eat it. Thanks to contemplating like this, the mind becomes pure, leaving behind lust and attachment. You should note that while contemplating impurity, take yourself as the subject to contemplate. For example, if you are addicted to beauty and bring a beautiful woman out to contemplate, you unintentionally make the mind even more agitated. Sixth is contemplating the impermanence of the mind. The mind is always arising and ceasing, impermanent, and changing unpredictably. Due to causes and conditions coming together, there is an and a seen to see, that's all. The mind is not inside, not in the middle, and not outside. If conditions are sufficient, they come together to see and know. If conditions end, they dissolve. Just like a lighter has fire due to conditions coming together, such as gas, stone, striker, etc. When conditions are sufficient, strike it and it burns. Release the hand, conditions end, and it immediately goes out. It cannot be pointed out where it is. The mind is also like that. It is temporarily called the true mind and the deluded mind. The true mind sees and knows all, but does not greedily attach or cling. As for seeing, knowing, and hearing, but greedily attaching and clinging, that is the flow of the deluded mind. Seventh is contemplating the known self of phenomena. Observe clearly that all phenomena are not real because they are governed by the law of impermanence. Even this body is ownerless. We cannot stop it from getting sick or dying whenever it wants. For example, when the body is sick, we consider it suffering. When the illness is gone, we consider it joy. In reality, whether suffering or joy, whether permanent or impermanent, its self-nature is nothing. Even the Buddha's Dharma is just a means, like a finger pointing to the moon or a raft to cross the river of delusion. Buddha's Dharma is like medicine prescribed according to the disease. Because sentient beings have many diseases, Buddha's Dharma has many methods. Why cling to practicing this way is right, that way is wrong, high or low, etc. Eighth is contemplating sensation as suffering. The more one receives, the more one suffers, also because of ignorance, mistakenly assuming this body is real. One forever seeks hundreds of schemes and thousands of plans to pray for food, clothing, and greedy attachment to lust. They consider those things as happiness, but they do not know that joy is the root of suffering. For example, wanting to eat well and dress beautifully requires physical labor and mental toil. One can do any evil deed, regardless of the means, as long as one's own body is honored and fattened. When chests and cabinets are full of wealth, who cares about future suffering? When having much wealth, one fears thieves and robbers spying. Even with mental desires, they consider it happiness. But inside that joy contains things full of jealousy, suffering, and sorrow. It is nothing but taking suffering as joy, joy within suffering. The joy in the world is fleeting and temporary. Behind it contains all kinds of grief and heavy suffering. Therefore, the ancients had a saying, joying greed and desire, joy is suffering. Suffering to practice. Suffering transforms into joy. Hoping to practice the habit of neither joy nor suffering to escape the realm of suffering and joy. Ninth is breath counting contemplation. To keep the mind from scattering, one must follow the breath in and out. Breathing out, know you are breathing out. Breathing in, know you are breathing in. Breathing in, count 1. Breathing out, count 2. Sequentially count to 10, then return to start from 1. Just count like that throughout the meditation session. Thanks to that, the mind does not scatter. If anyone practices Pure Land Buddhism relying on this method, reciting the great name of Buddha Amitabha, counting from 1 to 10 and returning to start from 1, just rotating like that forever, one will quickly attain one-pointedness of mind and be reborn in the ultimate bliss. 10th is cultivating the mind of loving kindness. Anyone who cultivates loving kindness will destroy anger and hatred, and their body and mind will be peaceful. People in the world will love and respect them, and the gods will protect them. Demons, heretics, poisonous insects, and wild beasts cannot harm them. Sleeping and waking in peace, destroying karmic enmity, and enmity resolves itself. To have a mind of loving kindness, we must expand our hearts to love all sentient beings. Meeting anyone, we are humble, polite, respectful, and wholeheartedly helpful to both people and animals equally and impartially. that is called the mind of a saint. It is this equal mind that generates immeasurable merit and destroys all afflictions and anger. 11th is cultivating the perception of impermanence. The Buddha taught that whoever cultivates the perception of impermanence will attain the perception of knowing self and cut off all arrogance. This means contemplating that all phenomena come together by conditions and are not real, thereby destroying arrogance, attachment to self, and attachment to phenomena, leading to the achievement of the ultimate fruition of liberation and nirvana, which is unborn and undying. In summary, all phenomena are created by the mind. Whenever making an intention, wanting to do something, one needs to use wisdom, thinking, and judgment. If speaking and acting bring benefit to oneself and others, then make an effort to do it. But if it brings harm to both or benefits self while harming others, then it must be cut off. To have clear wisdom, the important thing is that the mind must be pure. To be pure, be a good spiritual friend, be yourself, and be near good people. Try to keep the precepts and guard the senses. When speaking, speak according to the Dharma with more words and actively do good deeds. Contemplate your body as dirty and material things as temporary. The mind is not real. Phenomena are just means. It means seeing and knowing all without being polluted, entangled, or attached. That is the true constant and true joyful mind, distinct and liberated. This is the method of gathering the mind to maintain mindfulness, introspection, and purification, making the mind clean and pure, movement and stillness, suffering and joy. The environments and circumstances around us, whether good or bad, are all created by the mind creating every situation. 4th, environmental impermanence. As you have seen and witnessed countless scenes of glory and shame, nobility and lowliness, gain and loss, winning and losing continue to unfold before your eyes. Castles, vehicles, and material wealth, no matter how full, but just one earthquake, natural disaster, fire, storm, flood, or passing through a war, and they become piles of ash and rubble buried deep underground. There is the magnificent palace of Qinshai Huang, built with the blood and bones of the people, but where is it now? There is the solid Koloa citadel, now only remaining as dim memories, and countless magnificent and splendid cities have been buried deep into the earth or under the ocean, and experiencing a devastating earthquake, volcanic eruption, terrorism, war, or tragedies caused by cruel humans, causing countless living beings to die tragically. The remaining survivors have to fall into a state of being homeless, exposed to the elements, hungry and sick without medicine, causing wives to be separated from husbands, parents to be parted from children and grandchildren, people at the corner of the sea, people at the end of the sky, helpless and waiting and longing. Those things often happen on this globe. You have heard the radio and seen the newspapers to know clearly. In the Lotus Sutra, the Buddha taught the 3 realms are without peace, just like a burning house. Like being in a burning house, the 5 turbidities of the evil world are truly terrifying, but because of a little bait of the 5 desires, sentient beings forget all the suffering and disasters surrounding them. You should remember that all material things in this world are impermanent and temporary. Because wealth belongs to the 5 houses, we have nothing. This body of 4 elements is originally empty. The 5 houses are thieves, fire, drifting water, bad children destroying the property, and government confiscation. Speaking of this, I remember the story of a rich elder who had for wives. The first wife he treated like a piece of jade. Whatever she called for, he answered. Whatever she wanted, she got. The second wife, although her status was not equal to the first, he was only happy when he was around her always. The third wife he only paid attention to occasionally, and the fourth wife had a wretched fate. He never cared for or looked at her. One day the rich elder fell seriously ill. Knowing he would not survive, he called his four wives. He looked at the first wife and said, I have for wives, you are the one I love the most. So when I die, please go with me to the other world to fulfill the saying. Living sharing the same bed and mat, dying sharing the same coffin and shell. The first wife said, I know your love for me is very strong, but death separates yin and yang. Each goes their own way. I cannot follow you. All the trust placed in the first wife, unexpectedly she answered like that. The rich elder, sad and self-pitying, looked up at the second wife. He asked, what about you? The second wife replied even more ruthlessly, every day you love the eldest sister more than me, and she still refused to follow you. How can you ask me to follow you? Furthermore, I inform you, the hour you stop breathing is the hour I go marry another husband. The rich elder heard this and was extremely sad, dissatisfied, discouraged, and miserable. He forced himself to look at the third wife, seeing her crying and speaking. Don't worry, when you die, I will take care of the funeral, the weekly memorial services, and the death anniversary for you. But I cannot fulfill your request. The rich elder thought to himself, all his life he had always sacrificed and endured countless hardships and miseries for these wives. Now no one goes with him, and they even have ruthless actions, ungrateful and treacherous. It is truly laughable how the world changes white to black. He spoke while tears welled up. The fourth wife saw this and said, although every day you did not pay attention to me, I volunteer to follow you. Wherever you go, I will go there. Not only did that rich elder have for wives, but within all of us, we all have those for ladies ready. The first lady refers to our body. As soon as it is hungry, it eats. Thirsty, it drinks. Cold, it covers up. Hot, it fans. Immediately finding every way to provide for the body to be fully comfortable, freely enjoying the 5 desires upon the suffering of others. But when it dies, it still becomes a stinking ghost in the graveyard. If taken to be cremated, only a handful of ash remains. The second wife refers to money and material wealth. When alive, it is ours. When dead, it passes to others' hands. We cannot take anything with us. That is why she said, the hour you die is the hour I go marry another husband. The third wife refers to relatives and family members. No matter how much they love us, at most they take care of the funeral, weekly memorials, crying and lamenting, sending the coffin to the grave or the crematorium. No one is foolish enough to die with us. The fourth wife refers to the good or bad karma in our daily life. Sometimes because of wife, children, or relatives, we create countless mistakes. Eating is done together, but sin is born alone. The Ksitigarbha Sutra also teaches, the sin one commits, one must bear oneself. No one can take one's place, yet few people awaken. They just immerse themselves in love, money, fame, and profit. Because of excessive greed, humans find hundreds of schemes and thousands of plans. bringing them out to execute, fighting for fame, snatching profit, fighting for every bowl of rice and piece of clothing, fighting for every inch of land, working hard to kick and fight each other to the point of life and death, freely scooping up unrighteous wealth. But they forget that everyone will eventually die. If you have it, then you lose it. Today it is ours, tomorrow it passes to another. Yet some people, relying on their wealth, buy offices and sell positions, act arrogantly and bossy, suppress and exploit, live luxuriously and haughtily on the blood, sweat, and tears of others, thinking that way is good and capable. But they do not suspect that just by losing their footing and position, they must fall into the situation of imprisonment, death penalty, or wandering to beg for food. In the Bodhisattva Precepts Sutra, it teaches that all sentient beings are relatives and parents from many lives who died and were reborn in the 6 paths. If we kill or compete, meaning slaughtering and fighting with relatives from the past, not strangers, in the Sutra of Filial Piety, Buddha bowed to a pile of dried bones to commemorate the 6 relations of the past. He once declared, "All men are my fathers, all women are my mothers, from whom I was born." Saying so allows us to see that principle and expand our compassionate hearts to treat all sentient beings. Otherwise, we will become crazy, cruel people, killing relatives from the past to cultivate relatives in the present. It is truly sinful and meaningless. That is a mistake. It comes from a lack of wisdom because of boundless greed. Humans wish for everything: wealth, power, kingship, beautiful wives, obedient children. Everything as desired, working hard to seek, but not getting it leads to resentment and sorrow. Even if they get it, when they lose it, they suffer even more. It is precisely fame, profit, and love that make humans stagger and turn upside down, miserable and disappointed to the point of suicide. As I see occasionally, people bring spirits into the temple. When asked, it turns out they died because of broken hearts. One thinks, has the world run out of people? Why be so foolish? But when reading the sutras, one understands. They died simply because in a past life they made others suffer and die tragically. Now, naturally, the karmic consciousness causes them to think that if they don't live with that person, they would rather die. No one can replace them, because whatever caused that effect, it is admittedly never wrong. Love betrays friend. Is the friend sad? Friend betrays love. What does the friend think? Therefore, the ancients lamented, the deep pit of lust is addictive until death when carrying the coffin. Closing eyes, gripping to hands, where can one take money to the grave? Only sin and merit remain, arriving at the judgment place at the crimson gate of the underworld. With much merit, one ascends to the celestial realms. With much sin, one falls into misery for many days. Only then does one see the horror. Repentance is too late. It is hard to calculate. To awaken people of the world in the Dhammapada, it teaches, when the Buddha was residing in the country of Shravasti, in the city, there was an old man of the Brahmin caste, 80 years old, wealthy with countless possessions, but he was of the type difficult to save. He knew nothing of morality and kept creating many unwholesome deeds, not worrying about the impending impermanence, but only worrying about building beautiful houses, creating all sorts of things: front house, back door, cool towers, warm houses, east house, west house, 2 long rows with about a dozen roofs. but only the front house and back house were still separate, not connected. Every time he went up and down, he was inconvenienced by rain and sun, so he personally went out to direct the workers. At that time, the Buddha used his divine eye and saw that this old man had only a few days left before his life would end. Yet he did not know anything himself, so he kept bustling about, exhausting his strength for no benefit to the afterlife. It was truly pitiable. The Buddha and Ananda, master and disciple, went together to his house and cheerfully asked him, "Old man, what are you doing? Are you tired? And why are you building this house?" He replied and explained, "The front house is for receiving guests, the back house is for living. The two east and west ranges are for children, grandchildren, and servants to live in and to store wealth. In the hot summer, go up to the high tower for coolness. In the cold winter, go down to the warm house for warmth. Do you understand completely?" Buddha said, "I have heard of your reputation for a long time, wanted to meet to discuss for fun. Now I have an essential verse. This verse is useful for times of peace or misfortune. Now I want to give it to you. So you should rest your hands and let's sit together. May I read it for you to hear?" He replied, "I am very busy right now, so I cannot sit and discuss. Maybe another day if you come. That would be great. If the verse is essential, you just go ahead and read it. I can work and listen at the same time." Buddha had to oblige and read the verse. Having children, adding wealth, the deluded person worries busily. I is not even I, where are children and wealth real, high status will collapse. Wealth gathers, then disperses, no matter how much property. One cannot avoid old age and death. The fool does not worry in advance, does not know the disaster is coming. The fool calls himself wise. That is truly very foolish. That ill-fated old man praised, "You speak the verse truly well, but today I am too busy. Tomorrow come back, and we will discuss it. That would be better." So the Buddha pitied him and left. Buddha had not gone far when the old man, personally lifting wood for the workers, accidentally slipped. The wood fell and hit his head, killing him instantly. The family cried loudly, shaking the whole village. Buddha had not gone far when this accident happened. He went to another village and just met 10 Brahmins. They asked where he was going. Buddha replied, "I went to the house of the old man in that village with the purpose of preaching the Dharma, but he did not believe and did not know the disaster of impermanence. I just left, and he died because wood fell on him." Then Buddha retold the meaning of the verse he had just read to the old man earlier for the Brahmins. After listening, the Brahmins were overjoyed and elated, all seeing the traces of the way. Immediately, Buddha preached another verse for these men to hear. "A dull fool near a wise person is like a ladle in soup, containing it for a long time, but not knowing the smell. A clear-sighted person near a wise person is like a tongue tasting flavors. When it touches the tip of the tongue, it immediately knows what it is. The fool worries about creating and building. For the body, he invites disaster, willing to do evil deeds, causing heavy sins for himself. When repenting, it is already too late. Even if one cries and laments, what benefit is it? Once the body has caused evil karma, one pays the retribution. Because of the sown cause, one must suffer the bitter fruit." The Brahmins were honored to hear this verse. Their faith became even more solid, and they happily paid respect and practiced it. The ancients also taught, pity those in the world, empty fields and gardens. Houses act as if they have them, but then they are empty. Wives, children, parents eventually also die. Fame, profit, and wealth eventually also become nothing. 100 cleverness, 100 wisdoms are just a temporary play. 1,000 schemes, 1,000 plans also return to nothing. All life worrying about building a fortune. Closing eyes to hands are empty, still empty. Reflecting from ancient times to the present, do fame and material things exist forever, that one must labor physically and mentally to create evil karma as big as Mount Tai, leaving a stain for posterity. Oh, the chains of fame and profit have imprisoned humans for countless eons. The more civilized society is, the tighter the lock of profit and fame becomes. Therefore, among people in the world, both noble and lowly, few are free and happy. To avoid being bound by fame and profit, we should not desire it. The Buddha advocated the path of liberation, advising sentient beings to have few desires, no satisfaction, contentment, and practice charity to destroy greed and stinginess. Speaking of the blessings of making offerings and charity, when the Buddha was still alive, one day the laywoman Sujata offered alms to the 3 jewels, then bowed to the Buddha and asked, "World-honored one, I often offer alms and practice charity. What is the result of those deeds, please? Out of compassion, teach me." Buddha said, if before you make an offering or give charity, while giving and even until the end, you give rise to a joyful mind, then that merit is truly immeasurable and boundless. In the present, body and mind are peaceful, praised by wise people. If dedicating it to deceased relatives, both the living and the dead benefit. If one takes that good merit to pray for the fruit of Bodhi, then after death, one will be reborn into a noble family, leaving home to become a monk. None, one will inherit offerings fully and soon attain the fruit of Bodhi. In the Agama Sutra, Buddha taught, if anyone often gives rise to the mind to give charity and make offerings as Buddha taught, that person, whether walking, standing, lying, or sitting, will have merit constantly born without ceasing, like the story of Anathapindika building the Jetavana Vihara. It was not yet finished, but the celestial palace was already built and reserved for him. Not only that, but he also overcame all disasters. Long ago, when Buddha practiced asceticism in the old forest, Mara came to disturb him in every way, but could never shake his mind. Mara asked Buddha why he didn't stay in the royal palace to enjoy pleasures. Why commit to this dangerous and miserable place? Snakes, centipedes, tigers, leopards, ghosts, aren't you afraid? Buddha gently said, there is nothing to fear. Mara said, what do you use to protect yourself? Buddha replied, it is merit that naturally protects me. Mara could not shake his heart, so he disappeared. Buddha said, whoever has merit, naturally their mind is clear, wisdom is bright. Speaking, doing, or wishing for anything will all be achieved beautifully. As for people without merit, their minds are deluded. When they speak, no one listens. Whatever they do fails. Wishing for 10,000 things, none are achieved, often bringing disaster upon themselves. Our ancestors used to say with virtue, one doesn't need strength to eat, meaning virtue brings sustenance. Therefore, we should try to cultivate merit for the future. If not, When merit is exhausted, it is dangerous. If one wants the offering and charity to have good results, one must practice the paramita of charity, which is not seeing oneself as the giver, the object given, or the receiver. If we cling to the offering and charity, it is easy to give rise to a sorrowful and angry mind when they do not please us. From there slander arises, destroying all merit oneself, like the story of Lady Thandamajayana's mother making offerings to the monks, but not being welcomed warmly. She immediately gave rise to a cruel mind, taking dog meat mixed into cakes for the monks to eat, so she fell into the realm of hungry ghosts. Therefore, when giving charity out of compassion to make sentient beings happy, we do not expect anything. That mind is as vast as empty space and cannot be measured. But if calculating and comparing, the merit is limited. If not careful, it generates sin, losing all good blessings. Many people are too poor. I advise them to give charity to transform their karma. They answer, I am too poor. What do I have to give? I say, even if you are very poor, like the couple Den Anija, who had only one blanket to go begging, yet dared to offer it to a bhikkhu to bring back to the vihara. Buddha Vipassana said to bring it to him. Buddha held up the blanket and declared, in the great assembly making offerings today, the person offering this blanket has the greatest merit of all. Everyone in the great assembly was surprised and asked Buddha the reason why. Buddha said, the object is light, but it is heavy in the sincere mind. Then Buddha recounted the miserable scene of the couple Dan Anija. Everyone who heard it was moved and brought money and goods to help. Thanks to that good root, for 91 eons continuously, they were reborn into noble families, met Buddha Shakyamuni, left home to practice, and attain the way. The second is the story of Kutrong Zhuan, who was destined to starve to death, but thanks to using his body to carry people across the Bankei stream for 6 years, that good reputation reached the king, who immediately sent a palanquin to welcome him back and appointed him as the national teacher. Therefore, the world uses appearance form. Buddha uses heart-mind, not whether the material is much or little. Therefore, there is a verse, past life didn't give, so now endure poverty. Now misery clings on, others have overflowing wealth. Think back to my fate, pockets are empty, or help others without expecting repayment. A good heart giving alms ascends the lotus seat. Buddha taught that among all offerings, the offering of Dharma is the immortal offering. That merit is nobler than all fields of merit, truly as Buddha taught. Thanks to learning the doctrine, we know how to practice, and then pass it on to others to practice together until the day of escaping the cycle of birth and death. So he said any sentient being who wants body and mind to be peaceful must learn the Dharma, because Dharma has the function of destroying afflictions and defilements and maintaining love and unity, thereby generating blessings and benefits for oneself and everyone. But few people think about it. They just indulge in entering and leaving the place of profit and fame. Sometimes reading the sutra for a few sentences, they immediately feel bored and skip it. There are even people who have never read a word in their whole life, precisely because of looking down on Buddha's teachings. From within the family to society, many tragic and heartbreaking scenes occur. Lack of morality is the gateway to ruin. To avoid those disasters, you should try to listen to sutras and Dharma talks and pass them on to those around you so they know how to practice to resolve evil karma. Thanks to that merit, our own karma also lightens. Therefore, I advise you, when you have books or tapes of teachings, you should give them to others to hear and see. If kept for a long time, they will spoil without generating merit. And furthermore, in the next life, one will suffer the retribution of ignorance. Like the story of Panthaka, Buddha taught just 2 words, broom sweep, but he couldn't remember, which was also due to hiding the Dharma. Moreover, impermanence has no set date. If one keeps hoarding, even with warehouses of gold and mountains of silver, Mandarin positions, kings, concubines, beautiful beauties, beautiful wives, and obedient children, when closing eyes and dropping hands, one brings nothing but the 2 words, sin and merit. Oh, covet everything, then lose everything. But there is one thing you should note. When giving sutras or tapes to others to watch or listen to, you need to examine whether it matches the spirit of the Buddha's teachings, because there are many people who say there is no heaven, hell, or Western Pure Land. Everything is in the world. They say science today sends spaceships to the moon and Mars without seeing any fairies, and to exploring the earth also doesn't see where hell is. As we see, infinite space has countless stars. Chemistry science today has only gone a few steps, but hurriedly claims non-existence. That is no different from using the mind of an ordinary person to measure a saint, because in the sutras the Buddha said, understanding the sutra literally, 1 word equals demon talk, meaning Buddha said there are many heavens, hells, and Western Pure Lands, but they say there aren't, which means they are demons. There are many people who speak very well, often bringing up Mahayana Prajna teachings to say everything is empty calm, so no need to bow, chant, or recite Buddha's name. But we have seen in the Lotus Sutra the past life of the Buddha was Bodhisattva, never disparaging, meeting anyone. He respected and bowed. We are ordinary people, yet we look down on bowing, chanting, and reciting Buddha. If there is no form mark, how can there be nature? In the Diamond Sutra, Buddha taught Subhuti, whatever has a form is false, to let sentient beings not be attached to it while practicing, not to abandon all good practices. Therefore, Buddha emphasized that if anyone does not keep the precepts, they will not achieve concentration, wisdom, and liberation. In the Platform Sutra, the 6th Patriarch Huineng also taught, mouth speaks of emptiness, but self and others, the 3 poisons, greed, hatred, ignorance, pile up, giving rise to arrogance, greed, and stinginess. Speaking of human greed, a sage lamented, do not burden the heart with worldly possessions. Greed for them has never done any good. Greed is the root of suffering. Greed is the grave of countless living beings. Greed for fame, greed for profit, greed for love. The more one covets, the more one feels the heart is not at peace. Coveting, once obtained, then worrying about keeping. If lost, it creates sadness inside. The heart is always restless. Is greed truly the source of suffering? Greed leads to deceitful schemes leading to sin. Sin is the root of birth and death. How many miserable disasters run rampant? Most are born from greedy attachment. So try to drop it. Don't bear it anymore. Let the heart remain peaceful every day. Whatever debts from past lives, just worrying about paying them, vow not to create causes. In the old days, there was a sage who told his descendants to write this sentence on his tombstone when he died. Coming here, I only have left what I gave. Confucius also said, all things in the world are fake. Human life alone, with morality, is real, meaning all things in this world are impermanent and fake. Only morality is enduring. 3 bodies, trikaya. That mind transcends birth and death. That is the true nature of the guru. The true guru is not the form appearance of the teacher. The teacher's form is just like our body. One day, that body will decay. Because it is a composite, it carries the nature of impermanence. When the guru leaves the world, the guru's mind will transform into the forms of the Sambhogakaya reward body. Actually, the guru's form is the Nirmanakaya emanation body, and the guru's speech is the Sambhogakaya. The guru's speech is the Sambhogakaya because the guru uses speech to preach the Dharma to us, such as teaching about practicing the generation and perfection stages. Then if we practice what the teacher preached, our mind will become one with the guru's mind. When the disciple's mind merges with the guru's mind, this is like mind seeing mind. What we achieve is not a physical body, not material, but actually achieving the guru's Sambhogakaya. Ultimately, on that foundation, we will achieve the Dharmakaya, or the non-dual natural mind. When practicing the generation stage, we will gradually realize the 3 bodies of the Buddha through practice. First, the Yidam deity that we meditate on and visualize arises from the Dharmakaya. Boundless deities and the wrathful and peaceful Sambhogakaya all arise from the Dharmakaya. We practitioners are the Nirmanakaya. The foundation of our mind is Buddha nature, and simply because temporarily due to some good and unwholesome karma, we have to be reborn in the 6 realms of samsara in many different forms. But the foundation of our mind is always the same. Our Buddha nature never regresses, is never polluted or destroyed, but is always unchanging and remains as the original primordial state. It is just that temporarily we appear in these forms like ice floating on water. The Buddha himself taught that within every sentient being is a Buddha, only obscured by temporary defilements. Temporary defilements are the defilements of self-grasping. Deity yoga. First, we mistakenly accept that there is a self, and then for that reason, we cause afflictions to arise. We create karma and accumulate propensities, habit energies. The karmic propensities then create the body, appearance, and form. Once the body is created, speech is also created, and next, a certain state of mind is created. To purify those obscurations of body, speech, and mind, we practice deity yoga. When we visualize the deity's form in the generation stage, we will purify the obscurations of the ordinary body and arise in the rainbow form of the deity. Then we recite the deity's mantra to purify our obscurations of speech. We often cling to the sounds our ears hear, and by reciting the mantra, we stop clinging to ordinary sounds. Thus, when visualizing the deity and reciting the mantra, we will purify all ordinary sounds and forms. When the mind no longer clings to forms and sounds at all, the clarity and luminosity of the mind grows day by day. We purify the body by visualization in the generation stage. Purify speech by reciting mantras, and purify the mind by single-mindedly resting in samadhi. All phenomena contained in samsara and nirvana have never existed by themselves. All are natural reflections of the mind and of the primordial clear awareness. Primordial clear awareness is nothing other than the nature of the true mind. Right in this moment, for each of us, the true nature of our mind is as follows: equal wisdom, knowing clearly from the beginning, wakefulness present without interruption, and emptiness, transcending all abstract concepts. This can be explained by the three great avenues of liberation. The first great avenue of liberation is emptiness. It is not something newly created, but has inherently existed, and the true nature of emptiness is unconditioned. The essence of emptiness transcends all designation or imputation. And we also cannot describe emptiness as an object of consciousness, because the essence of emptiness lies within the scope of conceptual consciousness. We can never determine the characteristics of emptiness. That is the second great avenue of liberation, signlessness. In equality, there is nothing to attain and also no action of attaining anything. So there is nothing to hope for. Therefore, the third great avenue of liberation is not hoping for results, wishlessness. When visualizing the arising of the mandala and the deity while practicing deity yoga, first you must visualize the boundless vast palace of the deity, and then you will arise the deities inside the palace. There are two stages to arise the boundless vast palace. The first stage is called purify the environment, and the second stage is actually developing the boundless vast palace. In the first stage, we purify the formation of the world where sentient beings are born. First, we start with the space element, and with the mind, which is the primary cause forming the world. The specific karma of sentient beings, when accumulated together and bearing the same nature, creates specific worlds that appear to sentient beings with similar collective karma. Habits from these collective karmas affect their minds and perceptions. Their common karma bears fruit into a common environment, and they live together in it. Here we are talking about the mandala of the four continents and Mount Sumeru. Now that environment will be purified into a Buddha field where Buddhas revive phenomena that are inherently pure, like empty space, also known as the Dharma Dhatu of space. The agents to purify the Dharma Dhatu of space include 6 syllables: Yam, Ram, Bam, Lam, and some S, which will purify the 5 elements, and the minds clinging to the 5 elements. Here you must have the confidence of a practitioner in the union of the common ground and the path's fruition. You must remember that in the inherent internal pure state, the 5 elements are the 5 female Buddha's consorts in the 5 Buddha families. Next, we arise the boundless vast palace of the deity to purify the dwelling place of sentient beings, which is where they live, like houses, for example. The conceptual clinging to ordinary dwellings is purified into the primordial wisdom of the Dharmadhata nature, without any fabrication left, according to the teachings that is the dwelling of all Buddhas. Therefore, the internal boundless vast palace of the deity is the castle of the natural mind. This is the manifestation of the inherent pure appearances. The essence of pure appearances, meaning the purifying agent, will be brought onto the path and become the palace of the inherent pure appearances of the Buddha fields. Buddha field, 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 Buddha.